Let's embrace innovative volunteerism. Away, as you go. Rise up. You and me are the solutions to these challenges.
My name is Steffi Maingi, an Ebafosa Innovative Volunteerism actor. Today we are here at Mwea-Kenya area, where we have set up one of our solar drying centers. And today we are here to teach farmers on how to use the solar dryer, the benefit aspect that we added to the solar dryer, which is the clean energy chamber. And apart from that, we're also going to show them the benefits of the solar dryer as we are testing one of the products that is farmed in abundance here, which is rice. So stay tuned as we interact with the farmers and as we also get to hear the experience from some of the farmers that have been using the solar drying center. My name is Steffi Maingi and I am an Ebafosa Innovative Volunteerism actor. Na nikidhani nyinyi wote mme-experience hii kazi yetu. Kuna mtu hayuko familia na hile solar dryer hapa? And today I am here to talk to you about the solar dryer. And I would want to thank all of you for availing yourselves here, for creating time to come and attend this solar dryer training and exhibition. So who here is not familiar with the solar dryer? Okay, so I can see two people who are not familiar with that solar dryer, but everyone else here is familiar with the solar dryer. So the solar dryer is that structure that you can see there that has been built, and this solar dryer has been built to help in drying food. As youth, we came together and wondered, now since we are not farmers and we cannot all do farming, what gap can we fill in terms of the challenges that we're facing, like food security? So what gap can we fill? And we came up with the solution called the solar dryer, because this is what we can do to help in cutting the post-harvest losses. What we know is that many people are producing, so many farmers are producing, but we're still hearing of cases of food insecurity. People are hungry, people are going without food, but yet so much food is produced. And especially in these areas where soil is very fertile and you find that many value chains are thriving. So that is how we came up with the idea of fabricating a solar dryer. And we've actually come from far, where we started from wooden solar dryers. And then we've gone to improve to make the metallic solar dryers. And we've also introduced another solution called a chamber that uses briquettes. So I'm going to take you through all of this, how to use the solar dryer, how to maintain hygiene, and also answer some of these questions as I also explain how to use the chamber. So we can all proceed and go to the solar dryer so that we can start the training. Aya, kwa hivyo ningetaka twende tuone, niwaonyeshe venye tunatumia dryer.
Let's embrace innovative volunteerism.
Aya, sasa kwa wale ambao hawajatumia solar dryer, hii ndio solar dryer. So for those who had not seen the solar dryer, this is what we call a solar dryer. As you can see, the structure is basically a very simple structure made of galvanized steel and UV treated paper. This galvanized steel, you'd ask, why do we use galvanized steel and not any type of metal? Galvanized steel does not rust, so meaning it is food friendly. You won't be worried that the moisture that is coming from the food is going to make the metal rust, thus affecting the quality of your food and also what you've put in the dryer. So that's why we use galvanized steel. And the paper, we don't use normal paper because normal paper will be cut by the sun. So we use UV treated paper, which has a guarantee of 3 years. That is 36 months. So you're guaranteed that you can use this for at least 3 years before you replace it. So basically that is what you do. And the structure, we've built it in a way, if it rains, water is just going to come down, just the way you build the roof of your house. So meaning that there's no water that is going to get into the solar dryer. So what you do is you open the doors of the solar dryers, as you can see these doors here. Then we have shelves whereby you put your food into the shelves, like what we have put here, this rice that is drying for the training purposes. So you put your food in there. into the shelves, then you close the solar dryer. For the solar dryer to be effective, you have to close the door so that all the heat that is getting into it can get trapped in there, and then it can help dry the food effectively, and it comes out through that other side that you can see over there, which is the aeration point. So the dryer itself does not sweat inside because there is a place where air comes out. As the hot air rises to dry the food, it also comes out through that vent that you can see on that side. So these shelves require washing. For example, right now I've dried cassava, and someone else wants to dry rice. I have to wash this dryer. You have to make sure that you're washing the dryer so that the debris that remains from the cassava does not go to the next product. So this is to ensure that hygiene has been maintained as much as you're putting it in the dryer to avoid dust, dirt, birds, and any sort of contamination from drying outside, like what most people are doing, direct sun drying. Now inside the dryer, there's not that, but also you also need to ensure that the shelves are clean at all times. So once you've removed your produce, clean the shelf so that the next person coming to use the dryer will find the dryer ready to use and clean, and also they can clean it for the next person. So we need to ensure that we are maintaining standards of hygiene, because at the end of the day we want to eat good produce. Okay, so let us proceed to the chamber so that I can explain to you how the chamber works and how it helps in terms of adding to the efficiency of the solar dryer. So this is what we call a chamber, which uses briquettes. So why briquettes and not any sort of maize, dry maize cobs or normal charcoal? Because you can see the jikos here. We are using briquettes because briquettes are smokeless. And the beauty about the briquettes have been made using food waste. So the cassava, the peels from the cassava are what I use to make these briquettes. So basically you just use the cassava peels that have been carbonized and starch made from cassava, which is basically porridge. Yeah, so you mix that to give you this briquette, and this briquette is also still dried using the solar dryer, showing that this solar dryer can dry very many value chains apart from cassava, rice and bananas and maize, what you farm here. It can also still dry fish and also onto these briquettes that you're seeing here today. So this solar dryer is versatile to that extent. So what you do is you break the briquettes into small pieces, light them up. Once your jiko is on, you put it into the chamber, you close the chamber door, and then the heat that is generated from that chamber will get into the dryer using this vent that you see here that is getting into the solar dryer. Then that heat will circulate into the dryer and come out through that other vent. So it is a circulation of hot air getting out as more hot air comes in, making sure that you can dry your produce. And the beauty about the chamber is that you can still dry your produce at night because there is no sun to heat the dryer during the day. So you can use it during the night, sorry. So you can use it even at night to ensure that you maximize on the dryer usage. Apart from that, you can also use this dryer during cold season because the chamber is there to provide the necessary heat needed to dry your produce. So the chamber is very, very vital. And when you see the weather is not okay, or when your produce has not fully dried during the day, you proceed and use it at night just by lighting the chamber. Briquettes take long before they go off, so meaning that by the time you replace the briquettes or add on briquettes to your jiko, so much will have dried. So you don't need to keep on checking after every 1 hour. You maybe add after 6 hours or 4 to 6 hours. That's when you add more briquettes so that the chamber can continue generating heat. On to the questions. She's asking why we cannot use maize cobs. If you can use maize cobs to light the briquettes. No, we cannot use maize cobs. I know it is readily available because you farm maize, but the reason we are not using anything else is because the briquettes are smokeless. Now, let me give you an example. If you put on maize cobs here or even normal charcoal or whatever you have that is not briquettes, it produces smoke, right? Yes. Every other thing when you burn it produces smoke, meaning that smoke is going to get into that produce that you're drying. And the produce that you're drying is going to get affected by that smoke and even soot. That's why we're advising to use the briquettes, and we have brought the briquettes here which are readily available, meaning that briquettes will always be there to help in the usage of the chamber to increase efficiency of the dryer. Yeah, so we just light the jiko the same way we light normal charcoal, because I believe we are all familiar with using the jiko with charcoal, and that is how we use this. So on top of that, we also brought a moisture machine. This moisture meter helps you to ensure that you've dried your produce to the right moisture that is recommended by Kenya Bureau of Standards. So once you know you want to check if your produce is fully dry, you just put this moisture meter, and then this is how you use it, and then it gives you the reading. So basically grains need to be at 12%. That is the right moisture reading to know that your produce is fully dry. On to cassava, also 12%. So the moisture meter is going to help you to know if your produce is fully dry. And with this we collect data, and the data we collect in terms of what you have brought, how much time, the time that it has taken to dry, and the reading of the moisture meter. This helps us to know how efficient the dryer is, and also how we can improve on the solar dryer. So we also need to ensure that data is collected so that we know the impact that we have, and apart from the impact, we also need to know if the dryer is actually benefiting and how exactly we can improve the efficiency of the dryer. Because at the end of the day, we want to cut post-harvest losses, we want to enhance value addition, and with value addition and cutting of post-harvest losses, it means that there'll be more money in pockets, because now you can fetch more money from what you used to lose. So no losses at all, and the whole community can benefit. So everyone should feel free to come to the Solar Drying Center, invite your friends, invite each and every farmer you know, so that they can also benefit from these benefits that you can see. As you can see, we put this rice here like 2 hours ago, and it's already dry. So meaning rice is even taking 2 hours to dry. So this shows that many people can come and dry. Within one day, you can have so many tons, and many people can benefit. So invite many people, and I'm also going to engage some of you to hear what you've heard from the training and how you see this community benefiting from this training. Thank you very much.
My name is David Kedaka Gesho. I come from Kenya County, at Mwea East. My village is called Keurugari village.
David,
yes.
You are a farmer.
Yes.
So which value chains do you farm?
I farm bananas, rice,
Yes.
avocado,
Yes.
sukuma wiki, na terere.
And terere.
Yes.
All right. And all these value chains that you farm, do you farm them for home use, or do you farm them for sale? Do you sell them, or is it for both?
I can see especially sukuma wiki and the terere, they are for the home use. But for the bananas and avocados, I actually sell and rice.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. And now, how long have you farmed these various value chains that you've mentioned?
Actually, it's for, let's say, so many years.
So many years.
Yes.
Okay, and within those years of experience of farming, how much would you say that you harvest per season?
Especially with me, I don't have a very large scale for rice. About an acre. Of bananas, I must have an acre. For the sukuma wiki, half an acre.
Yeah.
For the avocados, it's about 3 trees.
All right.
Yes.
So how much, now with the acre of rice, how much in kilograms does that produce, let's say for rice, that acre, how much rice do you harvest from the acre?
Especially, we use juakali. So I can't estimate the actual kilograms, but it's lovely about 10 sacks.
10 sacks.
10
Each
of-
sack is 100 kgs.
That's 100.
All right,
Yes.
okay. No problem. So averagely you harvest 1 ton.
Yes, it's always 1 ton.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you used the solar dryer before?
No, actually, I can say I've not used, but the time you came for the first time,
Yeah.
I was here, and I brought my maize,
Yes,
and actually it did very well.
it did very well.
Yes.
All right. So from your experience so far, how much are you saving, or with the usage of the solar dryer, are you saving anything, or the losses still continuing?
No, actually, for the maize and the rice, I don't lose anything.
Yeah, you don't lose.
Yes, because
All right.
because if I bring it here,
Yeah.
I don't have the time to go and beat cuckoos. You know, actually, when you dry in an open place,
Yes.
the hens will come and eat your rice.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the dryer there's no losses, and
There's no
there's
losses.
no contamination
No.
from birds eating your produce.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And so far, how would you say that this solar dryer has benefited the community?
Actually, what I can say, the dryer, it have reduced for you going to the market and buying a candaroa.
Yeah.
To come and dry with the maize or
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I say if it's food like in sukuma wiki or terere,
Yes.
you actually when you bring it here, there will be no contamination of diseases.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So the dryer has, apart from cutting losses,
Yes.
you're also ensuring that you're maintaining high standards of hygiene.
It's true.
All right. I am very happy that you have experienced such benefits with the dryer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Mimi ni Phyllis Ng'endo Joki. Mimi ni mkulima wa hapa Mwea, Kirinyaga County. Ninalima mchele, mahindi na mbosho.
Okay.
Kuna ingine ya kuuza.
Her name is Phyllis Ng'endo, and she farms a number of value chains. And some of the value chains that she farms are rice, maize, and beans. So from all the value chains that she farms, rice is what she uses to sell, and the maize and beans she uses for home use, for domestic use. So this is something that she plants deliberately, knowing that she's going to consume at home. But the rice is what she farms so that she can sell to earn an income for herself. She has been a farmer for 5 years, so she has been dealing with these value chains for 5 years. And from those 5 years, she has noticed that she harvests 1 ton of rice per harvest, maize 100 kilograms, and beans 100 kilograms. And she has not used the solar drying center before, but from the training that she has gotten today about the solar dryer and the solar drying centers, she sees that it's really going to benefit her, because she has just realized that it's really going to save her time, because she doesn't have to keep on watching out for her produce. What she does is she puts it in the dryer, closes the dryer, and goes on with her business. So it's really going to save her time. Apart from that is she's now going to dry her food knowing that it's not going to be contaminated by birds and hens coming to eat her produce. And she's very happy that we have brought this solution, because it's also going to benefit the community in terms of saving time, saving their losses, and she's encouraging farmers within this area to come and use this solar drying system so that they can reap from the benefits that it gives.
Watu watumie hii solar dry system juu itawasaidia more.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Kwa majina naitwa Jenny Wanjiko. Nafurahia hii dryer ilikuja hapa kwa sababu inatusaidia.
Her name is Jane Wanjiko, and she's a farmer in this Kiawaruguru area. She has been a farmer for 10 years now, and she has been farming rice and bananas. So she has been farming rice for sale, and she has been farming these bananas for home use, for domestic use. Averagely, she harvests 1.5 tons per season. And from this 1.5 tons, she's saying that there is so much that is lost through birds, hens, and even through that collection process, there's some that gets lost. She has not used the solar dryer before, but now with the training that we've had today, she's very, very much impressed with the solar dryer, and she looks forward to using it to dry her produce because she has seen that she will not lose her produce anymore. And apart from that, it's really going to save on time that she can come and leave her rice here, especially when she wants to take it to the factory for processing. She's directly going to bring it here, dry it, and then she can take it to the factory knowing that it is clean and everything has been done well. Apart from that, she sees that this dryer is really going to benefit the community, especially with food. Most food here, like the greens that is used for mokimo, they're used dry. So it's really going to help them dry their produce efficiently and in a hygienic manner. And she's very happy that the youth have brought this solution that is going to help their community.
Unaweka inakuwa dry, alafu unatumia.
Okay.
My name is Grace Wachira. I farm rice, maize, and bananas.
And bananas?
Yes.
Okay, so this rice, maize, and bananas, do you farm for domestic use? Do you farm it for selling or for both?
I farm it for both. I have been a farmer for 20 years. For the rice, I harvest about 20 bags.
20 bags.
Yes, and for the maize, I just farm for domestic use.
Oh, you farm for domestic use.
And bananas.
Okay.
Yes.
So have you used the solar drying center before?
Yes, I have used.
All right. And before using the solar dryer, how much of this rice were you losing in kilograms, and how much is the value of the rice?
Before I used this sun dryer, I was losing about 100 kilograms of rice.
Okay. And now that you've been using the solar dryer, how much are you saving in terms of post-harvest losses?
Now, because I have been using the sun dryer, I have been saving about 4,000.
About 4,000
savings.
All right.
Yes.
And what can you say are the benefits of the solar dryers to you and to the community?
The benefits of the sun dryer are one, you just dry your rice, you keep it in the sun dryer and go to other works, and then it will not be contaminated by diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and what would you say about saving the losses that have been experienced through direct sun drying when you put in a chandarua?
As we are using the sun dryer, we will not be losing rice about 20 kilograms.
All right.
Yes.
So this solar dryer has benefited you and the community as well.
Yes.
So I'd urge you to also encourage more and more farmers to come and use the solar drying center so that they can reap from the benefits that you are also reaping from that, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So from the training we've had, some of the members that have joined us for the training today are actually heads of self-help groups. And they're telling me that their groups are interested in the solar dryer. And I want to engage them to hear what their group does and how they feel that the solar dryer is going to benefit them as groups. So I have two groups here. I have Kiru Self-Help Group, and I also have Samaritan Self-Help Group. So I'm going to engage them so that we can get to know more about what the groups do. Hello, how are you?
Salama sana.
All right. State your name and the group that you lead.
My name is Stanley Mudike. I'm a member of Samaritan Self-Help Group.
All right. So in Samaritan Self-Help Group, what value chains are farmed?
Huko tunalima mchere, tunalima viazi, tunalima hapo kando, na hata tunalima ndizi.
All right. All right. And with the farming, do you use chemical fertilizers or organic manure or both?
Tunatumia yote mbili.
You use all three. So chemical fertilizer and organic manure.
Tunatumia.
Okay. So whatever the group farms, do you farm for domestic use, for sale, or for both?
Kuna zile tunatumia za kutumia nyumbani, tunakuza za kutumia nyumbani. Na kuna zile tunakuza za kuuza.
Okay.
Kama mchele tunalima ndio tuweze kuuza. Na hata ndizi tunalima za kuuza.
All right. And if you farm for sale, what do you do with the surplus that ends up unsold?
Ati?
Whatever now you see now the rice and the bananas, you're farming to sell them, right? So whatever remains, the surplus that remains, sasa mumeuza, you have sold whatever you have, and probably you've not sold everything. So what happens to that surplus that ends up unsold?
Hiyo inabaki tunatumia kwa manufaa ya nyumbani. Na saa zingine kuna wakati unafika unakuta ulipokuwa umeuza, sasa ile imebaki, kuna wakati inafika unatumia hata hiyo kwa kuuza kidogo ndio upate chumvi na mafuta pengine ya taa na pengine mafuta ya kupikia.
All right. So whatever remains is given to the members to use for domestic use, and some of it you also just try and sell so that you can get a few coins to run your household.
Of course.
All right. And what are the key challenges you face in your farming?
Ile kitu inakuwa ngumu sana kwa hiyo farming, hiyo kulima. Ni kama wakati wa kiangazi. Saa zile jua inawaka sana, unakuta hakuna maji. Na saa zingine tunatumia kupigia maji kutoka mtoni. Mto ukiwa huna maji, alafu tunapata tatizo.
All right. So the key challenge that you face is water, especially during dry season. Okay. And out of what you produce, how much of the harvest is lost? Average figure in kgs and also the monetary value.
Sasa tuseme kama kikundi tukilima mchere, unapata tunakuza kama tani 5 hivi. Na kutoka hizo tani 5 unakuta kama kilo 300 zimepotea.
All right. And the bananas?
Bananas unakuta saa zingine juu ya tuseme wakati wa kiangazi, unajua hii ndizi inakuta unapata haiko strong enough. Yani haiko na nguvu ile ya kutosha, misisi imekaukiwa na maji.
Okay.
Kwa hivyo unapata hiyo ndizi imeanguka kabla haijakomaa.
All right. So the main issue with bananas is water. That is what affects it. And for the rice, after you harvest, whatever is lost is 300 kgs from the 5 tons that you produce. All right. And which techniques do you use to add value or preserve your harvest?
Wakati huu hakuna kitu tunatumia ya kuandi value. Juu hatuna store. Bali tunaweza kustore hizo vitu zetu ndio zikae muda mrefu, ndio tuuze wakati kuna bei. Kwa hivyo saa hizi hakuna kitu tunatumia.
All right. So for now there is no value addition.
Hakuna.
And you just sell directly. So you don't even dry them, you just sell them.
Hatukui tuna dry juu hatuna hizo bidhaa za kutumia kwa kufanya kukausha.
So now for the rice, if you have to dry it, you just put it outside.
Tunaitoa tu kwa jua.
All right. And have you heard of the solar dryers and what they do to ensure that the preservation of food, that food has been preserved to lower post-harvest losses? Have you heard about the solar dryers?
Nimeshawahi kusikia. Vile solar dryer inafanya kazi. Na nimeshatembea nikashuhudia. Nikapata inakauza chakula vizuri. Kwa hivyo mpaka nikatamani. Yeah.
Okay. And if the solar drying services were to provided for you and your group to use communally with others, do you think this will lower post-harvest losses and enhance incomes?
Sana.
Okay. So you feel like it's really going to help your group in terms of cutting the post-harvest losses?
Sana.
Okay. And now that you'll have saved the losses, do you feel like it will help enhance your savings in the self-help group?
Hiyo itaongezeka. Hiyo itaongezeka juu hakuna kitu itakuwa kimepotea.
Okay.
Na ikipotea itapotea kidogo.
All right. Any final word you have regarding how the community here can benefit from solar dryers to cut their post-harvest losses?
Ninaweza kuwa na maneno mawili matatu niseme. Kupitia hiyo solar dryer. Community itafaidika juu hakuna kitu itakuwa imepotea. Muda na wakati zitakuwa zimekuwa reduced. Na wakati wowote ukitaka kukausha kitu yako unaweka hapo kwa solar dryer, alafu unafungia, alafu unatembea. Kuku hazitachafua na mambo mengine mengi.
Okay.
Na wakati utakuwa umekomaa.
All right. So he feels that it's really going to help the community because they're going to cut on what they lose. And apart from that, you can easily just put your produce into the dryer, leave and go ahead and do your things. And your produce will still be drying without fear of chicken eating your produce, other birds, dust and dirt. So it's really going to help them, and also in terms of saving time of drying. So the produce is going to dry within a very short time.
Sana.
So tell us, how many members are in Samaritan Self-Help Group?
We are 20 members.
You are 20 members. So do you farm together, or is it every individual member?
Vile tunalima, kuna wakati mwingine tunakomboa shamba, na kuna wakati mwingine sasa kama avocado, mtu anapanda kwake.
All right, but for the rice and bananas and potatoes, you lease land, you use it to farm as a group.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And the bananas, what is the quantity produced?
Tuseme tukikata banana kuuza, unapata tumeuza kama kilo 2,000 kwa siku moja.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. And I am happy to hear that you feel that your group is going to benefit from the solar dryer.
Hata mimi nimeshukuru kwa kuongea na nyinyi.
Okay.
My name is Jenny Wanjiko, member of Kero Self-Help Group. Alafu tuko member 30.
All right. She's Jen Wanjiko from Kiru Self-Help Group, and Kiru has 30 members. So Jen, tell us what value chains are farmed with the Kiru Self-Help Group.
Tunapanda kama mchele, mandizi. Alafu avocado bado hasijakuwa. Tunangoja.
All right. So you farm rice, bananas and avocados. So to produce this rice, bananas and avocados, do you use chemical fertilizer, organic manure, or do you use both?
Tunatumia fertilizer na tunatumia zote.
Okay, so you use both chemical fertilizer and organic manure. And this rice, bananas and avocado, do you farm for domestic use, for sale, or for both?
Zingine tunauza, zingine tunakula.
Okay. So if you farm, now you say that some are consumed with the members and some are sold. So if you farm for sale, what do you do with that surplus that ends up unsold? Now you've sold, let's say you have 2 tons, right? Then you sell probably 1.8 tons. So that 200 kg that remains after you've sold, what happens to that surplus? Now that is what we are calling the surplus that ends up unsold.
Tukitoa kwa shamba, tukifuna zingine zinaharibika, zingine tunauza, na zingine tunakula.
All right. Okay, so apart from so you've sold, some are consumed, so some of it also gets spoiled, yeah? So this is one of the challenges that you face within the group. What are other challenges that you're facing apart from spoilage of the produce?
Tukifuna hii mchele na mandizi, zingine zinapotea kwa sababu hatuna kitu ya kukausha.
Okay.
kama saa zile hakuna season mzuri, hakuna bei mzuri, zingine zinaharibika. Na kama tuko na dryer tungeweka sisi haribike, tunatumia kesho.
Okay. So you're saying that the main issue is lack of better drying methods, especially when the seasons are not that good. Okay, and you've told me that there's some of the produce gets lost. So tell me, like now for rice, averagely, what is the quantity that is produced by the group?
Saa zingine tuna kama magunia 20 kwa sababu shamba ni ya kukomboa. Saa zingine tuko na kila mtu akona kwake. Sasa yote kama mtu akona nusu eka, wengine wakona eka.
Okay. So averagely that is 2 tons. So out of that 2 tons, now that you don't have better drying methods, how much of that 2 tons, how many kgs get lost because of the lack of better drying methods?
Wakati mwingine tunaanika na chandarua. Zingine kama 50 kg zinaharibika.
For every sack? Kwa kila gunia?
Zote pamoja.
Okay, okay. All right. So when you put them on the sack to dry, 50 kg is lost. All right. And have you heard of solar dryers and what they can do to ensure that preservation of food has been done just to lower post-harvest losses? So have you heard about the solar dryers?
Tukipata kama solar dryer, tutakuwa tumesaidika sana. Kwa sababu tutakuwa tunakausha na hiyo, hakuna kitu tutakuwa tunapoteza.
Okay.
Itakuwa mzuri.
All right. So she has heard about the solar dryer, and she's saying that the group needs a solar dryer because it's really going to help them cut on post-harvest losses and also enhance their income, since there's nothing that will get lost. So any final words regarding how the community here can benefit from the solar dryers to cut their post-harvest losses?
Kama grupu tukipata hiyo solar, hiyo ya kukausha, itakuwa mzuri kwa sababu itatusaidia. Hata kama mtu anataka kuweka mboga ya sukuma, managu, mtu anaweka anakausha, na wakati wowote hata kama saa hizi kuko na jua, tutakuwa tunasaidika kwa sababu hatutakuwa tukinunua, tutakuwa tunazitumia na zingine tunauzia watu.
Okay. All right. So she's saying that the solar dryer is really going to help them because not only are they going to benefit from the value chains that they farm, that is rice, bananas, and avocado, but they can also increase some of the value chains and bring in even greens and kales to dry in the solar dryer, where some they can sell and still even use for home use. So meaning that losses will be cut, and it is also going to encourage them to bring more value chains within the group. So the community is really going to benefit from the solar dryers. Thank you very much. We have interacted with the farmers, and I have gotten to train them on how to fabricate the solar dryer, the basic fabrication of the solar dryer, usage of the solar dryer, the additional aspect of the chamber, which uses clean energy briquettes, and the farmers have gotten to hear and experience about the solar dryer. Apart from that, they have seen how much this rice has taken a very short time to dry. So they know that this solar dryer is going to be of huge benefit to them. We have also gotten to hear from some of these farmers who have told us their experience. For those who have used it, they have said that it has really benefited them in cutting their post-harvest losses. And for those who have not used them, they're very much excited that a solution like this exists. So they're going to come and bring their produce to this solar dryer so that they can be able to dry their produce and reap from the benefits. And they're very much excited, saying that it's really going to save them on time, whereby they'll just come, leave their produce in the dryer, go and continue with their work and come back and pick their produce later, because it's really going to cut on time of laying the sheet down to dry, keeping on turning, and also chasing away birds and hens from eating their produce. So they know that the losses will be cut, and also they're going to dry in a hygienic manner. So the food that they're going to consume from the dryer is good food. They're also excited, and they're encouraging us youth to continue creating these solutions so that not only them can benefit, but more and more farmers within this area can benefit from this solution.
This is what innovative volunteerism stands for. This is impact. This is action. This is inspiration. This is what we must do. Because every little action we undertake matters. Climate action is our own fierce urgency of now, and every action we take to help a mother put food on the table and more money in more pockets matters. That's what innovative volunteerism is all about. Ushering and inspiring young people to become solution providers, to turn climate change challenges into opportunities. That's what we are seeing, and that's impact. That's climate action. And we must all usher ourselves to turn challenges into opportunities. That's innovative volunteerism.